Hi friends, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. For anyone who's joining us for the first time, big welcome to you. My name is Rose and I do hope you enjoy this video and perhaps even subscribe and join us for the other videos. If you're wondering what this background is behind me, now I'm not on a country lane. I thought I'd just sort of try and lift things a bit, and instead of looking at that boring background that you always get to look at, I would put one of my paintings behind me today and at least sort of have a prettier background to look at. I was encouraged by one of my viewers, Liz, to look into the connection between food and depression and anxiety. And I must say this is something I know nothing about, and I was really quite excited to get stuck into it and do some reading and put some research into it. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian and don't claim to know anything about this, but I must say that after spending a week reading as much as I could on the subject and watching some videos on it, I've really had my eyes opened. I really never realized there was such a strong connection between our gut and our minds. We do seem to be quite obsessed with discussing food in relation to obesity, diabetes, and other illnesses, conditions that are worsened by incorrect eating, that we have overlooked how this could possibly be connected to our mood. Lots of you probably know all of this already, but this is new to me, and for those of you who don't know about it, I just thought we'd dive into it and together see what we can come up with. It seems that the good bacteria in our stomachs, in our gut, is not balanced, that this has a direct effect on our mood. I didn't read any clinical trials on it, but there does seem to be a lot of data connecting bad eating habits to mental health. And there's also definite data to prove that gut inflammation does cause depression and worsens depression if you are already suffering from depression or anxiety. Now, as I said, I'm not in a position to advise anybody on any eating plans, but I think that as a group of people who do suffer from depression and anxiety and problems with our moods, this is something that we need to look into. We need to take a closer look at this. I listened to a talk by Dr. Drew Ramsey. He calls himself a nutritional psychiatrist. He's obviously a psychiatrist who's taken a great interest in nutrition. He's written a book which is coming out now, which is called Eat to Beat Depression and Anxiety. I'm going to try and get my hands on that book. I think that must be a great read. This man is just an absolute wealth of knowledge on the subject. Basically, in a nutshell, what I gathered from what I've been reading and listening to is we need to be eating more brain food. We need to be eating food, more whole foods, more unprocessed foods, more fruit and vegetables, and thereby keeping our bacteria balance within our gut at a healthy level. Now, there is a nerve called the vagus nerve, which is directly connected from your brain into your abdomen. And this passes information back and forth all the time on whether you're stressed, how that would affect your abdomen or your digestion, or whether you have inflammation in your stomach, how that could possibly affect your mind. A lot of the information I read suggested we should be eating a lot more seafood. I don't know about you, but we have fresh fish when we can. I live at the coast, so you'd think I'd have fish much more often than I do. But you know what it's like. You sort of, life goes on, you forget about it. But we need to be eating fish, and we need to also be eating fish like salmon, pilchards, oily fish, fish that are full of omega-3s, which is all brain food. Something else that came up is about people who follow a Mediterranean diet. There's definite proof that they suffer very much less from depression and anxiety. Now, Mediterranean diet is fresh fruit and vegetables, good oils, olives, avocados, all those healthy oils, rather than perhaps the seed oils that we sometimes use in our cooking. But here's a really good one that came up. You know what a really good brain food is? Dark chocolate. Now, we've just been given permission to eat well and still have some dark chocolate every day. How wonderful is that? One of the things we need to be doing to keep a healthy gut is to eat fermented foods like sauerkraut, yogurt. And if you don't like those things, or you can't get hold of them for whatever reason, then perhaps take a probiotic. I don't think anything's as good as actually having the real fresh food or vegetable or fruit or whatever we're talking about. But if you can't get it, then perhaps have what the next best. Something else that was spoken about too is eating organic. Now, we can't all afford to eat organic. We can't all even get hold of organic fruit and vegetables a lot of the time. Now, it's come to my attention that you can buy frozen organic vegetables. So I'm going to look into that. And, there's much less wastage with frozen vegetables. And apparently the nutrition is just as good in frozen veggies as it is in fresh. I think basically what we're saying here is to cut out the junk food as much as possible, the salty snacks, the sweets, the sugary drinks, and just try to eat more whole foods. I know for myself, I feel like during lockdown, and we've had quite a severe lockdown in South Africa, and I know you have in England and America as well, I feel very sluggish. I have put on weight. I just sort of move from one snack to the next throughout the day. And I don't think any of this is beneficial to my state of mind. And perhaps we all need to look into this. Now, for myself, I'm going to continue getting as much information as I can on this. As I say, I only know what I've read and listened to and researched in 1 week. And there must be years worth of information available. I'm going to gather together as much as I can. But I really encourage you to see what information you can get on the connection between your gut microbiome and depression. It's so very interesting. And this morning I actually spoke to a clinical psychologist about it, and he was not really clued up on it because it's quite a new thought. But on thinking about it, he said it just made so much sense. If any part of your body is out of balance, that will affect your mind as well. So he was in complete agreement that this is definitely something worth looking into. Now, I know I'm going to battle a bit with making these sudden changes. It's not easy. Excuse me. So, as you know, as I've mentioned before, I'm a qualified hypnotherapist. So I'm going to put together a meditation for myself with some positive affirmations in it. Positive affirmations to help me start thinking differently about food, start thinking more positively about healthy food, and just helping me to try to make this happen. I'm going to listen to this every day, and from experience, I know it works. I've used it for many things in the past, and with many of my clients in the past. So if anybody else is interested in listening to the recording and downloading it, you're quite welcome to. If you are, just leave a comment for me, and I'll add it to the video list, and you can download it and listen to it as well, because I know that I'm going to need some help with this. So this is all very interesting, and as I say, I'm not a professional in the subject at all. I'm just so very interested in it, and I think together perhaps we can try and find out more about this. And I'm going to leave a link for you in the comments as well that Liz sent to me with some really interesting information for you to read. Until next time, bye for now, and take care of yourself, stay safe, and a big hug.